A very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed privileged to have with me here this evening one of India's most influential and charismatic leaders, the one and only Sadhguru, global icon, an enigmatic monk who flies helicopters, who plays golf, and who can speak on wide range of issues concerning people, young and old. Sadhguru, welcome. We'll begin the conversation, but before that you will have a chant. Our conversation is beamed live on our group's news and entertainment channels and multiple digital platforms. Sadhguru, you can make your chant and your opening remarks to a very informed audience that we have with us this evening. Sadhguru.
Hello. Jananam sukadham maranam karunam milanam maduram smaranam karunam kalavashadiha sakalam karunam samayadipate akilam karunam. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Little bit, it's just very low. Can we raise the volume a bit, please? Hello. Yep. Namaskaram to everyone, the Honorable Governor, Nikiji and everyone else. When you say something, I'm not saying this because I sat here without understanding a single word. But when you say something in a language that you don't understand, it's best that it is explained to some extent. What is the chant about?
Yeah.
So what we call as life. Hello, all of you, namaskaram. When we say life, what we're essentially talking about is a certain amount of time and a certain amount of life energy. Time and energy, this is all there is with our life. The rest is all in our heads. When it comes to time, it's rolling for all of us at the same pace. Nobody is favored. I've been asking, people come and tell me, Sadhguru, it's such a long day for you. I said, I've been asking for a longer day and it never happened.
Right.
Nobody ever gave me 1 minute more than 24 hours. So time is rolling for all of us at the same time, at the same pace. If you're joyful, it's going. If you're sad, it's going. If you're doing something, it's going. If you're doing nothing, it's going. If you're awake, it's going. If you're asleep, it's going. So as we sit here, whatever we may be thinking, what is ticking here is not time. What is ticking away is our life. As we sit here, in the last half an hour, all of us are 30 minutes closer to our grave. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Are there some immortal people? I'm just checking. All are mortal people because I only talk to mortals. All mortal? Yes. So we must understand in our life, we are never negotiating life and death. We are only negotiating little more time. Yes or no? So time is a cycle, as we know it. If the planet spins, we call it a day. The moon goes around, we call it a month. The planet goes around the sun, we call it a year. In the clock, one is a second needle, another is an hour needle, minute needle, whatever. Everything is a question of cycles. Our idea of time has entered our minds only because of the cycles. So what is cyclical? Either if you learn to ride it, it'll be a great joy. All of you can ride a bicycle at least? Hello? First time you rode a bicycle, what a joy it was. Hello? It was one of the greatest joys or no, in your life? First time you got to balance and you started riding. Hello? I'm used to talking to live people. Just when you got to balance on two wheels and started riding, I don't know how early you did it, whenever you did it, was it one of the greatest joys? Because a cycle means something that goes round and round. If you ride it, it'll take you someplace. If you don't ride it, it can crush you. The same time, the same cycles of time, those who ride it, they experience their life as a great joy. Those who don't learn how to ride it, they will crushed by the same wheels and their faces become long. Say, I want you to look at this. When you were 5, 6, 7 years of age, your face was like this. Slowly. Some of you is touching there. What happened? Just crushed by time, nothing else. For most of you who are here at least, your lives have worked out far better than you dreamt. Yes or no? But crushed by time, the cycles of time can crush you. So the chant is about this. Only those who learn to ride the cycles of time, for them, life and existence is a great bliss. Those who don't learn how to ride the cycles of time, for them, life will crush. Same process. The question is, will you ride it or will you be crushed by it? So the whole science of yoga is about learning how to ride it, no matter what. Because the road will always not be the way you want. She was talking about road rumples. Rumple is not even a challenge. There are huge pits.
Yeah.
So, whatever comes your way, will you learn to ride through that or will you be crushed by it? This determines the quality of your life. Time you cannot manage, it rolls for everybody, but your energies you can manage. If you pitch up your energies in a certain way, what somebody can do in 10 years if you do it in 1 year, if both of you live for 100 years, in your profoundness of experience, it feels like you lived for 1,000 years in other people's experience. So, it is only a question of how intensely you fire up your life energies. The whole science of inner well-being is about this. If you charge this up in such a way that the experience of life is profound and activity is impactful. See, these are only two things you have when it comes to life: profoundness of experience and impactfulness of activity. Profoundness of experience means somebody may think love will give it to them, somebody may think knowledge will give it to them, somebody will think achievement will give it to them, somebody thinks money will give it to them, somebody thinks something else will give it to them. Alcohol, drugs. I want you to understand, those who are going to the temple and those who are going to the bar, they have the same intent, but wrong process. Hello? Same intent. They want profoundness of experience, isn't it? Somebody thinks it'll happen by popping a chemical. Somebody thinks it'll happen by devotion or prayer. Somebody thinks it'll happen by meditation. Somebody thinks it'll happen by love. It doesn't matter what you think. You're looking at profoundness of experience. When you act, you're looking for impactfulness of your activity. These are the only two things. If these two things have to happen, your energies should be beyond survival level. If you're in a survival mode, with limited amount of energy you can manage. If you want to live a life which is a profound experience, just to sit here, then you need to pitch it up. This is the fundamental of how to make our lives, no matter where we are placed, which time of history we are placed in, still those who pitch up their energies, their experience of life will be profound and they will be impactful in the given times in which they are born.
Absolutely.
We will not be doing the same things, all of us, whatever we are doing in our lives, we are running a media house. If you were here 500 years ago, you wouldn't be running a media house, but probably you would be doing something else, but something impactful. So what we are doing right now is not all ours. It is a consequence of times in which we exist. We exist in times where certain activity is allowed, certain activity is possible, but if you are here some other time in the past or some other time in the future, your activity will be different, but still the fundamentals of life will be same. You want profoundness of experience and you want your activity to be impactful.
Absolutely, Sadhguru. Write the cycle of life and move on. Now my question to you, your opening remarks obviously indicate that you are someone, with profound thoughts. Now my question is, as a young boy, you used to…
Still am.
Of course you're still young. As a young boy, you used to disappear from your home into the jungles, and much to the, worry of your parents.
Why are you exposing all that to all of them? I know you're a media house, but this
I'm planning to expose a little more, but I want your response, Sadhguru. How did the transformation begin? How did this young boy become Sadhguru?
Oh. Well, you're asking for a story.
Little story.
Little story. Well, so this is all it takes. Let me make the story relevant to you. See, when you're born, when you came out of your mother's womb, everything was new. Just everything. Every little thing. An ant could excite you. An ant could endlessly excite you, isn't it? You didn't have to see an elephant. An ant was good enough. Everything excited you, and you just look at the child, how it is trying to drink life. So as you drink life, the problem is all the adults are busy making conclusions about life, constantly teaching you, what is this, what is that, what is that? Well, by the time I was 4.5 years of age, I realized that actually I don't know anything. I don't know anything means I don't know anything at all. If you give me a glass of water, I don't know what is water. I know how to use it, but I don't know what it is. Actually, even today you don't know what it is. With all your science, you still do not know what one single atom is in this existence. You know how to use it, you know how to break it, you know how to fuse it, but you don't know what it is. So I know how to use water, but I don't know what it is. So I'm just staring at the water for hours. I find a leaf, and I'm looking at it 5, 6 hours. If I sit up in my bed in the night, I'm just staring at the darkness for the whole night. My dear father, who was a physician, started thinking, I need psychiatric evaluation. This boy is simply staring at something, it looks like he's lost it. My problem is, I'm looking at this, I still don't know what it is. I'm not able to look at anything else, I'm only looking at it. See, anything that human beings have cracked in this world, anything that we know genuinely, has only happened with the keenness of attention, yes or no? Hello? Without attention, nothing will yield in this universe. But we are destroying that attention in a child very early on, telling them all kinds of rubbish that you yourself do not know. So I just started paying attention to things. In this condition, they sent me to school. My mother said, you must pay attention to the teacher, don't look here and there, don't stare at something else. So I went and paid attention to the teacher, attention that they never received in their life. To an extent, I know their past, present and future, but I don't hear what they're talking. Initially I heard, it made some sense. Then I realized, they're just making sounds, I'm making up the meaning. Even now, I just had that experience, they were talking in Assamese. For me, they were just making sounds. Even now, I am only making sounds. Language is a conspiracy between two people. Hello? If somebody outside guest comes and you don't want them to know what you're talking, you shift to Assamese, isn't it? Because language is a conspiracy. If I utter this sound, you make up that meaning in your head. I utter some other sound, you make up another meaning in your head. So, I saw that only I was making up the meanings, they were only making the sounds. So I just listened to the sounds very carefully without making any meaning. After some time it became really amusing. A big smile spread on my face. They were not amused at all.
Yeah.
So my schooling went like this, and so many things happened. About maybe 13, 14 years ago, the school where I studied over 50 years ago, they came to invite me for their 125th anniversary. The trustees and others came. I said, see, please, why me? Because I was not just a good student, I was not even a student. I only came there when I really had to, and when I came there, I never was there. Why me? I'm not a great example for you students. Then they said, no Sadhguru, our school has produced some great film stars, cricketing stars.
Yeah.
Some of the test players were from that school, and so many other kinds of people, but you are the only mystic, you have to come. I said, okay. Then I went there, and in the quadrangle I stood up to speak, and I look around the same oppressive buildings, and some of the big trees that were there were gone, they had built more buildings. Then I looked in this direction, I saw this classroom and I remembered, I was 12 years of age. One day the teacher is asking me some question and expecting an answer. But for me, I just hear the sounds, I don't hear the words. And after some time, I don't even hear the sounds, I don't even see the man, I just see a blob of energy floating, and I'm just looking at this guy. And he's asking me something that I don't know. Don't know means I don't even know what he's asking. Then after 35, 40 minutes of making an effort to get an answer from me, when he doesn't get it, he comes and holds me by the shoulder, shakes me violently like this, and he says, you must be either the divine or the devil, I think you are the later. Till that moment, I did not know what is this, what is that, what is that, what is that, what is that, I know nothing. But I know this is me. Suddenly this guy confused me about this also. I looked, what is this? Is this divine, is this devil, what the hell is this? I thought this is me. Then I tried to stare at myself, it didn't work, so I started closing my eyes, and everything changed from then on.
So, your school trustees came and called you a mystic, but you have got various identities. Lot of people say that you are a Mahayogi, you are a spiritual guru. Lot of people even say that you are a godman or a maverick,
No, that only media
maverick
does.
mystic.
That is only media does, nobody else
Godman.
says godman.
You are averse to the word. You are averse to the word godman.
Huh?
You are averse to the word godman.
No, see, nobody in this country ever claimed that he's a goddamn man, all right? It is just that this is a Western invented word that you're sticking to all sages and saints and yogis of this nation, which is a disgrace. Nobody ever claimed they are God-man, did they? They did not. You're making up this word because when the English people came, they called our sages, saints and yogis because they were sitting, they said, these are God-men. Tell me in Indian language, is there a word God-man anywhere? Man of God is different.
Man of God is different.
God-man is very different. And anyway, when you say a yogi or a spiritual person or a mystic, he is not even a man of God. You must understand, in this civilization, there is no the God, first of all. Please, this is a dangerous terrain, but please listen to me carefully. This civilization never said there is the God up there and you have to go there and meet him one day and shake his hands or sit in his lap. Right now, Mahakumbh is happening. Millions of people. What is their aspiration? Mukti. What does it mean? They want freedom, liberation. Is anybody going there and saying, I want to go to heaven for the pleasures of heaven? No. They're saying we want to be liberated. Because the entire civilization is about seeking freedom and liberation. Freedom is not a Western idea as they're trying to make it up now. For thousands of years, the only goal in our lives is to become free from the processes of the society and the world, to become free from the physiological processes, to become free from the psychological processes, to become free from the process of life and death itself. This is the only goal in this country. Who made up this God-man business? We have the technology of God-making in this country. We made up 33 million gods and goddesses. Yes, we made 33 million gods and goddesses when our population was 33 million. After that, this westernization made us little shy of making gods. They all say only one God, so we felt shy. So we also started saying we also have one. No, where is yours? Tell me. Because this civilization is not about belief. This civilization is about seeking. This is a land of seekers, not of believers. You can believe whatever you want, but we know we made it. See, in this part of I don't know in Assam much, but let's say Chhattisgarh and other places, also across the country. For example, Ganapati festival comes, we make up our god. When we done with praying and everything, we dissolve him. Which other civilization dares to do this, I'm asking? We make our god and we dissolve him. Hello? Because once he fulfills our purpose, we dissolve him and put him back. So, you must understand the fundamental difference is this. When you say you're a seeker, you're seeking truth. When you say you're a believer, you're looking for an authority which will tell you what is the truth. This is the difference. So, authority is your truth or truth is your authority, you must make up your mind. If truth is your authority, then you are naturally a spiritual seeker. If you have to become a spiritual seeker, you don't have to go to a guru, you don't have to read a book, you don't need a scripture, you don't need nothing. All you need is, you don't make conclusions about things that you don't know. You have the humility, you have the sincerity to see what I do not know, I do not know. Is this okay with you? Hello? What I know, I know. What I do not know, I do not know. Is this all right with you? Now look at it closely. What is it that you know about your life? Do you know where you come from? Do you know where you will go? You can believe I'll go to heaven. If that is so, you're so certain you're going to heaven, why the hell are you still here? You must be gone. Hello? If you're so sure, you are not. You are playing a psychological game. Playing a psychological game is a foolish thing with your own life. This is like, see, there is power of imagination for a human being like no other creature on this planet. You can sit here and create a castle in the air. I appreciate that. If you build a castle in the air with all detail, I really appreciate for the wonderful imagination you have. But after some time you start believing it's true, then we say you're neurotic. And after a while you start living in that castle, then we say you're psychotic. Then the third person comes and collects rent for that castle. He's a psychiatrist. So whether you do this in a mental hospital or you do it at your home or wherever you do it, you are imagining things fantastic. I appreciate the imagination, but the moment you think it is true, you lost it. So seeking means, what I know, what I do not know, I do not know. Is it okay to become this honest with life? Hello? Please start with this, and everybody is spiritual. Naturally, once you see I do not know, human intelligence just can't be. It will start seeking. You can't stop it. You don't need any teaching, you don't need any scripture, you don't need any guru. The nature of your intelligence is such, if you really put it into you that you actually do not know a damn thing. You're sitting here in a small little mud ball in the middle of nowhere. You call this a planet, it's just a mud ball in this vast cosmos. You don't know where it's going. Whatever stories you make up, you don't know a damn thing about anything, yes or no? Whether you're a man of religion or you're a man of science, both of you don't know a damn thing about anything, yes or no?
Sadhguru,
You don't like
that is the reason, that is the reason why a lot of people have gurus. And you have said once that, people need gurus sometimes to show you direction. Do you mean to say that gurus are some kind of a GPS, showing people life directions?
You're picking off.
I'm picking up from your answers. I'm picking up from your answers.
The word guru means, gu means darkness, ru means light, or to one who dispels darkness.
Yeah.
What will dispel darkness? Only light can dispel darkness. Suppose this room is pitch dark. If I ask all of you together, push this darkness out of this door, can you do it? No, if you light a lamp, it's gone. So the only way is to light the lamp. So a guru literally means one who dispels your darkness. This may happen in so many different ways. Your mother may tell you something one day and suddenly you realize that's true in your life. Little darkness is dispelled. Your father may say something, something may work, somebody else may say something. All these things might have taught you little, but still you saw it's inadequate to live a complete life. Then you seek somebody who seems to… whether he knows everything or not, but he seems to know little more than you. Anybody who knows more than you, who's seen more than you, is a possible guru, isn't it? Hello? Anyone who's seen more life than you, obviously, he could be a dispeller of darkness for you.
Right.
GPS.
Right, GPS.
GPS is going to go away with Starlink, something.
How do you define GPS? You have your own definition of GPS.
No, it's like this. For example, every year I'm trekking in Tibet and Nepal and Tibet. One of these Sherpa guys or the Nepali or the Tibetan guys, they've not been to school, they don't know a word of nothing except their local mountain language, but he knows the mountains. So we're walking, I'm walking behind him, of course, I don't walk in front of him, I walk behind him, all right? Now, four comes, he's going this way. I said, hey, why don't we go this way, this looks better. He said, no. You won't say, Sadhguruji, no, let's go this way, not like that. So I follow. Because in that damn place, you better follow him, okay? He is the guru there on the mountain.
Yeah.
I just bow down and follow because he knows the damn place so well. If you use your own brains and do something, probably you'll get killed. Hello?
Yeah.
So this is the same. Any unknown terrain if you go, it's best you listen to somebody who's already been through the terrain. Otherwise it's foolish. What is right here, you may take a lifetime to find it.
Absolutely. A slightly different question, Sadhguru. I really love and admire your clothes. You say that you don't wear designer clothes, but you design your own clothes. But actually that means you are wearing designer clothes, designed by the global icon, that is you.
Of course. Because…
So you actually wear designer clothes?
No, the important thing is this. See, India, Assam also, Bharat as a whole had many more Presently, it has 123 different types of weaves. No other nation, no other continent has 123 distinctly different types of weaves. You think anybody else in the world can make this, except in this country? So that is all dying. Dying means, from the age of probably 14 till 30 plus, I lived only in blue denims and something else on the top. But suddenly I realized, as I traveled the country, crisscrossed India, I saw we have such incredible talent and they're in such poverty. And in many of these things that textiles when it comes, many of the fantastic textiles we have, it's on the last legs. Their children have already become software engineers and gone somewhere. One last old couple are still doing something. If they die, this thousands of years of talent which is picked up, to mature to that level, it's taken a millennia, that is going to just die. I think it's a crime. So I decided that I will be this thing, and we also started a movement called Save the Weave. And I put all these 123 weaves in the hands of 4 famous American designers, and we entered the New York Fashion Show, and these clothes were displayed in Western formats, but Indian fabric. So since then, many have taken it up.
Were you the showstopper?
No, there were other models.
Okay. Right. Sadhguru, you are obsessed with…
I keep the shows going, I don't stop it.
No, it's going on. You know, show is going on, so it's going on. You are still going on. You are obsessed with soil.
Me?
Yes.
Why am I
You're
obsessed?
Obsessed with soil.
No, I'm made of soil.
You made a…
What are you made of?
I'm made of soil too. You did a mad bike rally, crazy bike rally, 30,000 kilometers, 100 days, 27 countries as part of your Save the Soil campaign. Why are you so worried about the soil? You've talked to farmers, you've talked to heads of state. What has been the impact of this? Rather, a lot of people said you were crazy to have that solo bike ride. 30,000 kilometers is no joke in 100 days, 27 countries. What is the impact? Have you been able to save the soil? What is the direction it is taking now?
See, I've been talking about soil for over 36, 37 years, but nobody understood. Or, I spoke to a variety of bureaucrats, agri-scientists, politicians, ministers, many heads of state across the world. When I talk about it and the situation on the planet, they all say, yes, Sadhguru, this is very important, it must be done. And it looks like that night they use it as a pillow to sleep upon because nothing happened. 36 years of non-stop talking, creating demonstrations that and how it can be improved. We started what's called as Project Green Hands, and that it evolved into Rally for Rivers, then all this is about soil. But everybody was sleeping on it. Then COP26 came in Glasgow. 15 days, all the top leaders of the world meet, environment ministers and agriculture ministers, all kinds of people. So when they came out, I spoke to many environment ministers. I asked, what are we doing about soil? They said, soil. Why, Sadhguru, soil? We only talk oil. Because there's money in it.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about soil because there is no money to be squeezed. I said, how can you talk about environment? How can you talk about global warming without talking about soil? It is the most basic thing. If you give me 2 minutes, I will explain to the people because people won't understand how is soil responsible for this. I'm telling you this, how life on this planet started. According to modern scientists, approximately 2 billion years ago, some very smart algae or fungi came up with this bright idea that they could cook their food with solar energy. First solar panel happened 2 billion years ago. This phenomena today we call as photosynthesis. It is the photosynthesis which transformed what was elements and material into life process. From a microbial life to today the most complicated and sophisticated life on the planet is human life, and in between there are millions of species. All this happened fundamentally because of what we call as photosynthesis. Just as a thing for you, in the last 1,000 years, we have removed 85% of the photosynthesis on the planet, literally taking away the foundations of our life. Because as you take away the photosynthesis, the microbial life on the planet is dropping. When we say microbial life, why are we worried? Because our idea of today's health and well-being is anything that you cannot see is dangerous and you must kill it. Bacteria means you must kill it, virus means you must kill it. 60% of your body is microbial life, only 40% is your parental genetics. Hello? 60% here is microbial life. But you're always thinking, you must kill it, everywhere. Right now everybody is dipping in Ganga. Why this is so is, there is something called as a bacteriophage, which is a certain kind of virus. It is very special in Ganga that there are viruses which eat only specific kind of bacteria. In 1896, when the British were here, the first observation came when the cholera broke out. Everywhere else people were dying, but those who lived along the Ganga banks were not dying at the same pace. So they did research on this and they found out that there is a bacteriophage which only likes to eat cholera bacteria. Nowhere else you find this. And this is why Akbar, whenever he went on his war campaigns, for his personal use he took only Ganga water. And when the British ships sailed from here to England, the water that they always wanted was Ganga water because this is the only thing which would stay fresh for 90 days on the ship. Everything else would turn dank. After 30-40 days, they're drinking really bad water. But for the first time, they found a solution. You heard of Sundarlal Bahuguna, the Chipko movement? When I was 19, I went there to join the Chipko movement. And fortunately or unfortunately, on that day he was not there, I met Bimala Devi, spent the afternoon with her, his wife, and then I came back. If he was there, probably I wouldn't have come back. Here I am today.
Right.
So he all his life screamed that many ailments that he had went away simply by drinking Ganga Jal. From the age of 19, 27 years, every year I trekked in Himalayas, Indian part of Himalayas. And this is very difficult for people to believe. I'm walking 15 to 20 kilometers a day in the mountainous area. Only thing is water. Many days no food, just water. It just kept me going. That wouldn't happen anywhere else because of certain qualities, of certain things. But we have done many things to it, that's a different matter. The important thing is this, that in India, 96% of all rivers are just rainwater. Only 4% is melting ice. Why I'm saying this is, unfortunately, the policies in the government, the science books that we have, everything comes from European knowledge, where
Right.
a large percentage of their water is ice melting water, melting ice water. Here, the only source of water you have is monsoon. Now the monsoons, one thing that's happened, I see that it's happened in Assam also very dramatically. It used to be on an average about 125 days, 115 to 125 days just about 50 years ago. Now the whole thing has gotten crushed to 75 to 90 days. That means the same volume of water is coming down, but in a much shorter period, where land is not able to absorb. And if water falls down, if it has to go down, you need the roots of the trees and plants and the soil has to be loose. Once
Right.
there is no vegetation, everything flows horizontally.
Sadhguru, since we are talking about rivers, you're talking about rivers, we have
No, I'm talking about soil.
Yeah, then we…
No, I'm just trying to tell you, only if soil holds water. Soil is supposed to hold 8 times, that is 800% more water than all the rivers and lakes on the planet should hold. That's its capacity. But we have reduced that significantly. 4 months ago, the recent study shows 78% of the world's soil has lost 30% of its moisture. This means trillions and trillions of organisms, probably zillions of organisms have disappeared and we don't notice it, but you will see human software will collapse. First thing is that.
We have a very big river in Assam, the Brahmaputra. Now, my question is, you have done this rally for rivers a long time ago. Now, the point is, you have also expressed concern that Indian rivers are dying, they're becoming seasonal and so on. Now, China is building such a big dams, mega dams on the upper reaches with the capacity to stop the flow of rivers like the Brahmaputra. What is your take on this? How do you see the riparian state, lower riparian countries and states?
Well, it could be a disaster and it could be a weapon, both ways. So, the problem is this, we've cut up the planet into many pieces, we call this nations. And we think nations are absolute. Nations are not absolute. Geography is absolute, all right? Nations are construct in our mind. For administrative purposes, if you divide the world, it's all right. But if you start believing it's absolute, right now we made the world like this, even whether knowingly or unknowingly, if you cross that line, somebody will kill you. Hello?
Yes.
We become like this. Because this whole thing has taken like this, it's not any one nation's problem, it's a worldwide problem. Our identities are like this. For the first time in G20, India tried to push this, that one earth, one family, one future. Such a thing has never been said in the Committee of Nations, never. This first, that first, everywhere.
Yeah.
For the first time we said one earth and one future. Because as we are developing, as we become more and more empowered, more and more capable, unless we create one future, there shall be no future. It's very, very important.
One thing which is common among humans, Sadhguru, is agony.
Agony?
Yes.
Really?
If you're poor…
Not me.
If you are poor, you have problems. If you are rich, you have problems. If you are
that is
married,
good.
you have problems. If you are not married, you have problems. What is your prescription?
Well, the thing is like this. You're trying to be happy, essentially, that's the effort. Am I correct? You want money because you think that'll bring happiness. You want education because you think that will bring happiness and fulfillment. Love, joy, alcohol, drug, God, heaven, everything is about this, pleasantness of experience. See, those who think this world is hopeless, they're not going to make it here, they've created another place that they call as heaven. See, all the advertisements are always about heaven is a very pleasant place. Yes? Suppose they told you from your childhood, God lives in heaven but it's a horrendous place. Do you want to go there? We'll pray from here only, let him be there. They've told you it's a very pleasant place, it's a place that you want to go. Well, this is one of the worst crimes that human beings have inflicted upon themselves, that you create another place better than this one. That real life will happen somewhere else, not here. This is the worst crime you have committed upon humanity. If you want to live, it's here. Even if you're going to heaven, at least you must practice living well here, isn't it? Hello? At least practice living well here with full of love, joy. Practice this here until if you go there. We don't know where the hell you will go, but wherever you go. So, thinking there is a better place than this elsewhere, this is not the place to make your life wonderful. Somewhere else it'll become wonderful. This is a dangerous idea which we have inflicted upon ourselves as human beings. This is very important that you understand that human experience comes from within you. I'll ask you a few simple questions. You can say yes, no or silence, but I'm going to bless you, it's up to you. All right? Whether you experience pain or pleasure, does it come from within you or outside of you? Within you. Joy or misery, where does it happen, inside or outside? Inside. Agony and ecstasy, inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. What happens within you must happen your way, isn't it? What happens around you will never happen 100% your way.
Now, another thing…
Let me finish.
Yes,
I'm
please.
just waiting for some security issue. So what happens within you must happen your way. What happens in the world will never happen your way. Not one person in your life, be honest all of you, your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, your friends, even your dog, does not happen 100% your way, yes or no? At least this one person must happen your way. Namaskar.
Right.
At least this one person must happen your way. Now, the moment this person doesn't happen your way, you're a lost case. Whatever great ideas you have, whatever wealth you have, whatever power you have, whatever nonsense you have acquired in your life, if this person is not happening your way, you are a lost cause. Yes or no? Now, this is all you're expecting. I'm asking you simple questions, yes, no, whatever, I'm blessing you, it's up to you, okay? Do you want this body to be pleasant? Yes? If it's pleasant, we say, this is health. You want health? Only 10 people need health, others are… You want health? See, this is a big problem. Things that really matter to you, you have not said a clear yes to it. You'll fight for all kinds of nonsense. Health, you want it or no? Say a big yes to yourself, not to me, to yourself, because every cell in your body is listening. If you don't affirm that you need help, the same cells will work against you and mess up your life. Hello? It's happening, isn't it, every day? If this body becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure. You want it? Hurry. What's the matter? 4 people want, others are all agnostic. Pleasure? Yes. If mind becomes pleasant, we call this peace. Peace? If it becomes very pleasant, we call it joy. If your emotions become pleasant, we call this love. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it compassion. If your surroundings become pleasant, we call it success. To create success, you need the cooperation of many forces in the world. If all of them don't… Right now, we want to have a successful situation, we need all your cooperation. Any one of you can mess it up. Hello?
Yeah.
But pleasantness of body, pleasantness of mind, pleasantness of emotion, pleasantness of life energies is 100% your business, yes or no? That you must do. If you think that's going to happen because of marriage, if you're miserable, you will double your misery. The idea of marriage is you're a joyful person, 2 people want to come together and multiply the joy. 2 miserable people come together, that'll multiply.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Sadhguru, you have a scientific bent of mind. I've listened to a lot of your talks. You seem to be, correct me if I am wrong, you seem to be a great backer of artificial intelligence.
I thought I was natural, what is this?
My question to you, do you think people are already becoming slaves of technology?
Not really. This is all narratives that are being built. Our lives are so much better because of technology, yes or no? Especially all of you women, I'm asking you. I'm telling you, as a woman, you must know this. Never in the history of humanity, your lives were as good as it is today. Please say one big yes to that. Because if you do not acknowledge things that are working, they will dissipate. Very, very important. And even for a man and for any human being, never before survival was better organized than it is today. Never before we had these kind of comforts and convenience as we have today. You want to make a mess out of everything, all the best. Technology is the greatest thing that's happened to us. Engineering is the greatest thing that's happened to us. It's done magical things, yes or no? See, right now, let me put it in my context. Many great beings have come in this world. Many very great human beings have come. When they came, if they spoke, hardly 10 people could hear. If they spoke, yes or no? Today, there's a microphone, but still it looks like those at the back are not hearing it. That may be… Hello? Say yes or no, huh? You're not hearing it? Today we can sit here, what this whole media business means is, we can sit here and talk to the entire damn world. When was it possible? So when we have such a means that we can sit here and talk to the entire world, if we don't transform humanity now, this means we have no love in our hearts, that's all it means. Yes or no? Great beings came, they walked village to village talking to few idiots around there. And much after they died, somebody spread their message a little bit here and there. During their time, all they did was slog without any great impact. Today, just to put this in context, in 2024, our video views are 5.6 billion views, 1.7 billion unique views, that many people, which is quarter of human adult population. But I'm not telling you my success, I'm sharing my failure with you because when I was 25, when I suddenly realized, if I simply sit here and if I keep a little distance from my psychological and physiological process, I burst into ecstasy. He's talking about agony. I burst into ecstasy. I experimented in so many ways, it was very clear to me, if I keep my hands off my mind, I'm just blissed out. So then I realized, this is it. Who would not want to be blissful? On that day, the world's population was some 5.2 or 5.3 billion people. I made a clear plan, in 2.5 years' time, I will make the whole world blissful. See, 42 years later, still only quarter. I will die a failure, but I'll die a blissful failure.
That's interesting way of putting it. Now, does science and religion meet? That is something, two different poles.
See, science means exploration. Religion means belief. A belief that might have worked to a certain number of people, for a certain number of people, because belief gives you a certain certainty about life. Otherwise, human mind is not able to figure out what is what. If you really start looking at anything and everything, you don't know a damn thing. It takes a lot of courage to see that I don't know. That's why everybody assumes, I came from God, I'll go back to God, all these assumptions, because otherwise it's scary to be here.
But Sadhguru, we also have belief in the medical science.
No, let me come to that. That's a very dangerous thing. So, we believe something because we want to cover a chasm that we don't know how to cross. But belief gives you confidence without clarity. Confidence without clarity is a disaster. Right now, I want to walk through all of you, but my vision is not clear. I'll step on all of you and go. If my vision is not clear, I should seek help, please. Can somebody help me through this? No, I'm confident. Confidence without clarity is a great disaster. Unfortunately, it's gone berserk in the world. Too many idiots are confident. very dangerous. It's very, very important that if you cannot see, you must hesitate a little bit. Hello? Yes or no? I'll tell you a simple thing. Right now you can see if I ask you to walk from here to there, you will simply walk. But if you make this pitch dark, suddenly you'll become super alert. Yes or no? If I ask you to walk in pitch darkness, will you become super alert or no? This is the effect of not knowing. When you don't know where is your next step, suddenly you're super alert. That is the way you're supposed to be every moment of your life, with an awakened intelligence, not a sleeping one. That means you're spiritual. So spiritual process and science is not different. Looking for different things, that's different.
Right.
But the process is not different because both are seeking. One is interested in seeking the subjectivity, another is interested in objectivity. Anyway, about objectivity, unless there was a spin-off of technology, who the hell would listen to the scientists and their theories? Tell me. It's a technology which is giving some authenticity to the scientists. Otherwise, they told you theories and theories, you think you would celebrate them?
Certainly not.
Never. It's only because of technology, science has got some authenticity going for itself. So spiritual process also needs authenticity, it should work. It should work for people.
Absolutely.
It's not something that you believe. You do something and it works. It works for me, it works for you, it works on other people, it works for 1,000,000 people, then we know it works. So, scientific process and spiritual process are not different. Religion is very needed for the mass because otherwise they would be so confused, they would be mentally broken. It is the cheapest form of psychiatry. No furniture needed, just hold God's hand and walk. Many people are crossing the life.
Right.
They may not realize… See, this is something you must decide. Are you looking for solace or are you looking for a solution? If you're looking for solace, you must believe something. If you're looking for a solution, then you must seek. This
Right.
takes courage.
Sadhguru, can you suggest an antidote to fear? Fear of death, fear of disease, fear of financial
If you don't
loss?
borrow, you will have no fear of debt.
No, I am
You know, like right now, when I go to United States, they tell me, when I go to United States,
Yes.
they tell me, Sadhguru, you are not good, you don't have any credit history. I said, isn't it good? No, no, you don't have credit history, you can't do anything with you. I need to borrow.
So, CIBIL score.
Huh?
They want the CIBIL score.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sadhguru, I mean, why I was asking you this question, that antidote to fear, fear of death, disease,
See,
loss.
you're
So
ask-
I am a hypochondriac. I have got dozens of numbers of doctors who are, some of them are sitting in this hall, and they never take me seriously anymore. Whenever I go to them, they don't take me seriously at all now. Because I go to them so often.
You should also not take them seriously. Because when you need a doctor, your body will tell you, you don't have to imagine. Hello? When you need a doctor, your body will speak loud and clear. You go on thinking you need a doctor, no, you don't need one. Now, about fear, what is the antidote? What is the antidote for something that does not exist? I'm asking all of you. Right now, are you in fear? No. So there is no fear. Why are you talking about fear? You must understand you create fear. This is what we've been talking from the beginning. What happens in your mind is made by you, yes or no? I know you are… believe a lot in stars and planets, I know. But I am asking you, what is made in your mind? Is it made by you? Maybe a lot is being done unconsciously, but it's made by you, isn't it? Maybe little you're doing consciously, rest unconsciously. Let me put it this way. If you have mastery over this physical body, 15 to 20% of your life and destiny will happen your way. If you have mastery over your mind, 50 to 60% of your life and destiny will happen your way. If you have mastery over your life energies, 100% of your life and destiny will happen your way. It's up to you.
Hypothetically speaking, Sadhguru, suppose you happen to be in parliament. What could be the discourse be? Is it going to be a cocktail of wheat, humor, and serious business? What is it going to be? Do you see yourself sometimes, do you think that you could be in parliament someday?
No. I have something else to do. Not that I think anything wrong about that. It's very important. The politics of this nation or any nation should be handled by responsible people, knowledgeable people, competent people. Unfortunately, some British authors said it is the business of the scoundrels, and whoever said it must be a great scoundrel, because if you leave the well-being of the nation, which is the well-being of the people, in the hands of a scoundrel, you must be a scoundrel, isn't it? Hello? So, what is most crucial, what determines where this nation is going, where nation does not mean just an entity, it's people. Where people's lives are going, in the hands of a scoundrel, something very wrong with you. So, I'm not saying I will not be in the parliament because I think it's wrong or it's beneath me, no. I have something else to do, which largely only I can do right now. So I stick to that. If I divert myself, that won't happen.
I mean, yeah, you said that you stick to that. What are some of the challenges of new age gurus?
What is new age?
Gurus of today.
Why gurus of today are
spiritual
new age?
leaders.
No, let's put it in the right context.
Spiritual leaders.
No, let's put it in the right context.
Any leaders.
Let us put it in the right context. See, there is no new age guru or new age anything. A guru, at any time in the history of humanity, has always been a contemporary guru. If he was not relevant, why would people go to him?
Right.
You have an idea, a guru means he must fall out of a calendar. Because that's the image you have seen. One man sitting there with a long beard, of course, that is a qualification, and a constipated look on his face. No. You must see in this culture, the spiritual people fought wars when it was necessary, stood up for whatever it was necessary.
Yes.
They played politics when it was necessary. So, this is not a land, this is all images that you got from very Western ideas where a saint means he must be like this always. No, our saints are vibrant, they fought battles when it was necessary for them to do it. Most of the saints were the people who taught the kings how to use arms, isn't it? Hello? So in this country, you're trying to now paint picture, saint means he must be like this. I'll tell you, I'm going to some conference in Chennai. Normally I always drive because I don't like the way whole lot of drivers drive. 90% of the drivers I don't approve. The way they drive the car, they're just destroying it and they may kill somebody. So I'm that day, because it's somebody else's car and I'm sitting in the back seat and this guy is going. Chennai traffic needs a certain level of aggression, otherwise you're not going anywhere. I have a reputation of not being late to any event in my entire life. In 42 years, I have not gone late to a single event. It takes a lot of effort to do this.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I'm looking, time is getting up and this guy is driving because he thinks there is a spiritual person in the back seat, he thinks like this, he must drive. So somewhere it stops a little bit, then I get out of the car, he says, what? I said, get out. He said, you sit in the back seat and I drive. I just go and at that time it was just, even now it is there in the hotels. After that, the November event that happened in Mumbai, every hotel has a security thing, the little gate. If a man comes to bomb, that little gate, anyway he's going to break through that and go. He's not going to look at the mirror at his face, all right? But we've set this up just to scare him, only to trouble us, that's all. It's no security of any kind. Anyway, this gate opens for another car, that car goes. Before it comes down, I just zoom through and everybody starts blowing whistles and I just go park it in the portico, leave it there and run into the conference. And I see some journalists like you standing there. I know, they're observing me. I just went, screeched inside and ran into the thing, went on time straight on the stage. I spoke there for about an hour and a half, then I came out. Then the journalists were still waiting. They asked me, in ancient times, yogis used to walk everywhere. You drive your own car, what kind of a yogi are you? I said, you idiot, in ancient times everybody was walking, not just yogis. Yogi walked little better than others, now the yogi drives better than others, that's about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. On that note, Sadhguru, every good conversation must come to an end. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for a lovely audience for listening to this. Thank you so much, Sadhguru. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sadhguru, for your words of wisdom encompassing life itself. And thank you, Sri Wasbir Sen, for wonderfully conducting this session.